Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 8 of StoneBlock 2, where today we're finally getting into Draconic evolutions and working towards that Draconic energy core. So sit back, enjoy the video, and let's see what we can't get done. I swear, it's like you spend half of your time decorating rooms and then the other half just placing random blocks to make everything messy again. So I have to work on my organizational skills here because things are getting a little bit out of control. They started off nice and clean and, well, they're not staying that way. But today we're getting into Draconic evolution. So if we come over to our wonderful quest tab over here, the first thing we need to do is actually make the information tablet. And all that's really going to cost from us is, I'm hoping it's just regular stone and not chiseled stone, but we'll find out. So we need some stone and some draconium dust. So let us come over here. And again, this is all in attempts to actually get to the Draconic energy core. That's where I want to get to today, which I don't think we'll have a problem with. We should have everything that we need to actually make it. All right, so this book, you know, it's just a mod guide, kind of go through everything that's actually inside the pack. So the armor, the tools, all the components and stuff like that. We are going to have to get into fusion crafting relatively soon, especially if we want to get into like the Draconic armor. I feel like in order to fight the End Dragon, the Wyvern armor should be more than enough, but you know, for now, we'll take what we can get. But the one thing we are going to be working for, if I can find it, is this energy storage core here. So I'm sure everybody has seen these things before. They're, for the most part, most packs that they're in, they're not horribly difficult to build because most packs that are going to have Draconic are going to have some sort of free ore generation. And so you'll get like Draconium and stuff like that. If we wouldn't have had the Awakened Draconian chickens, then we would need to, you know, do a little bit more to get the Awakened Draconium. But we have that already, so I'm not too concerned about it. But it's essentially just energy core stabilizers and the core itself, which is going to be made out of draconium blocks. Well, let me phrase that. We're going for the tier 8 right off the bat, just because of the fact that it's not going to make much sense for us to start for anything lower. We have the resources to make the tier 8, so why not go for it? So we're just going to be using blocks of draconium and then awakened draconium on the outside. The lower tiers have things like redstone blocks and stuff like that. So if we go to core setup, you know, as you can see, the lower tiers, it's just redstone in the center, surrounded by draconium blocks. But then as you go up in size, up in tiers, these redstone blocks eventually get replaced by draconium blocks, and then these draconium blocks get replaced by awakened draconium. So we're going to need 9 stabilizers for each side. I think that's going to be 9. It's only showing 8 here for some reason, but I'm pretty sure it's 9. I think it's just saying once you place this final one, it should form into this guy right here. So 4 times 9 should be 36. Let's see if we can't find these guys. So energy core stabilizers. So we're going to need some of these particle generators, and we're going to need a bunch of the cores, but that's just draconium, gold, and diamond. So easy day for us. Toss these guys out. Now we should be able to make just a quick stack of those. Don't really care too much. And we'll do the same thing. We only need 36. So we'll just take you. And let's just kind of keep tabs in our quest book to make sure that we're not skipping anything. We need to make the core, the energy core, and 4 of the stabilizers. So let's grab an energy core. Where are you? So we're going to need a wyvern core. And I should probably grab, I have left this kind of going overnight. So we've accumulated a few nether stars. It is running better. I did slow I'm sorry, I did speed up the generation. So right now I think it's generating once every 600 ticks, which is like 1 a minute or a couple minutes or something like that. I don't need it to be blasting. And I did shut off my wither skeleton spawner because we got up to quite a few of these things, 43,000. So we're good for a little bit. And the Supremium is going to be nice since this will allow us to pretty much bypass all of mystical agriculture here. We can just craft everything up and not have to worry about it. Let's see. What were we doing? The energy core. So we're going to need some of these wyvern cores. Just grab that. I like how it's completing before I put it in my inventory. I have noticed in certain packs, especially where you're using an ME system or a fine storage or something like that, sometimes when you craft things, unless you actually take it out and put it into your inventory and then back out of the system, the quest won't actually update. But it seems to be doing just fine in this pack, so I am liking that. Let's see, these wyvern energy cores, we're going to need the Draconic core and redstone or regular Draconium. We only need 2 of those for now, and we should be able to grab our energy core. Then we're going to need 2 of the energy pylons, which are just going to be more cores and some random stuff. And then I think we're going to need some glass for the actual pylons themselves. We're going to need some flux. We're going to need a point. And do we have a plug? We don't have a plug, so we can just make one real quick. And we're going to kind of have to redirect our network here. So our extreme reactor is going to be feeding into the Draconic energy core, and then the Draconic energy core is what we'll actually use to power all of our machines and stuff like that at a later point in time. I mean, right now I still have this guy set up to, making lava and powering the magmatic dynamos, but once we get the core set up and, finalize our wireless network, I'll probably leave this structure here, but, tear out these sides and, make room for mechanism machines, because mechanism has quite a few. And a lot of times, it can do you pretty good to have more than one of the same type of machine set up. All right. Now for the tier 8, we're also going to need, like I said, the Draconium blocks and the Awakened Draconium. I think we need around 400 of the Awakened Draconium. So we'll just grab that, and then we'll try to fit the rest in. We'll probably have to take some of this stuff out of our inventory here. What else don't we need? I think that's about it. We may have to come back for more. I don't know if in this pack it will auto build the generator or if we're going to have to place every block, but we will find out. We have the core and we have the pylons with glass and everything. So let's go down below. Now I did start digging. I don't know if this hole is going to be big enough, but I kind of tried to measure out the size of the ball of the core itself. We're probably gonna have to come out a little bit on these ends here for the pylons. But for the most part, this is this. And then once I actually have the core itself built, I'm probably just going to be filling this stuff in, or, replacing the stone around surrounding it with probably like black anti-blocks or something like that, just to kind of give it that void look that I kind of want to go for down here. So this guy right here, and let me turn on hover mode, is going to go right where this piece of cobblestone is. So if I toss him there and then right click on it, build guide activated, and we want to go for the tier 8. Is this going to be... Can't tell if anything is actually going to get in the way here. Looks like everything should be good. Yeah, it looks like we'll have enough room, and then we'll have to clear some of this stuff out and fill all of this stuff in. But we can get rid of you. Any other blocks getting in the way? Doesn't appear so. And this one does look like it has the option to assemble. All right, let's see if we can try to assemble it now. Assemble core. Yeah, get out. Let me out. There was a piece of stone that was stuck in there, so it wasn't allowing it to assemble. And now we just got to sit here and let it. I tell you, the ability for this to assemble itself Whew. I remember the first time I had to assemble one of these. It's literally like block by block by block. It got pretty tedious. So being able to just sit here and let it take from my inventory is very nice. All right, looks like we have put down all of the Draconium blocks, so now we're just on the Awakened Draconium. And we might be a little bit shy on it. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I grabbed 5 stacks or how many I grabbed. All right, that looks like it's good. We do need to clear out a little bit here and there. All right, a lot of this is just going to be kind of like me going around doing this. So let me kind of clear this stuff out, and I'll bring you guys back for setting up the stabilizers. All right, I think as far as the surrounding goes, that's going to be more than enough room. We now just need to kind of go find the middle over here, which is going to be what? This guy right here. So if we come out a few blocks, let's just say like this, and then we take our stabilizers, and that should be good. So let's see, we came in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 blocks. So we just got to do that for each one of these corners or each one of the sides over here. All right, so now that we have all of the stabilizers in place, if we just click on this again, we should have the activate button. So we can activate our core. And if we fly up, we now see that it's formed its, you know, whatever the word is that I'm looking for that I can't think of right now. It's formed into what the core is actually supposed to look like. So the only thing else that we have to do is we have to set up these energy pylons. And again, these are going to be used for either inputting or outputting energy from the core itself. And these guys are really simple to set up. You just have to place it within 16 blocks of the core. So for us, we'll just place one right there, 2 blocks down, and we can do the same thing right there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of glass, and depending upon where you place your energy pylons in relation to the core itself, and I'm not talking about this big red thing, I'm talking about that original core block that we placed in the center. If these are above the core block, you want to place your block of glass underneath it. If they're going to be below, because let's say you have this up in the sky and you know your base is down below the core itself, you'd want to put them on top. So in our case, we're above the core, so we're just going to come down here and put it in. And as you can see, it has little arrows pointing in, which means that is going to be our input. This is how we're going to get energy into the core. So if we come and toss you on, say select network, Revin. Oh, and looks like I got that wrong. Take this off. Okay. All right. So we are inputting energy. So we need to be drawing energy like we would with a machine. So we're actually going to be using the point to go on here. So we'll take the point and we'll say, let's actually create a new network here. Let's say, let's call this guy, reactor. So we're going to create this. We are going to create it as public because, again, we're not on a server, and we're going to pick whatever this color is. I love being colorblind because I have no clue. Looks like a yellowish, maybe green. I'm not really sure. So we'll create that, and then we'll come over here, and let's see. Select our network, reactor, come home. Make sure that we turn off our limit, and we might as well chunk load it too. So then we need to come over to this guy over here, this second energy pylon, and do the same thing again. Put a piece of glass on it. All right, so now that we have this guy set up, all we want to do is come down to this little sphere that's underneath it and just right click on it. And as you can see, the pylon, the arrows start pointing outwards, which means this is what we're going to be using to send energy. So if we come up here and we just say, we can leave this on Revin, we can disable the limit. We don't need to chunk load it because we already have this chunk loaded. And I think we should be in the same chunk. We're not in the same chunk. So let's chunk load that as well, just in case. So, and if you didn't know, F3 and G, turn on your chunk borders. So we have that. We are actually loading this in 4 separate chunks, but so now we have our little Draconic energy core, and by little I'm being a little bit snarky about that, and by a little bit I mean a lot. So we have no energy in here. So what we want to do is come over to our reactor over here, and this guy we want to switch over to reactor, and that will take all of the energy that we had stored up in this guy, which was like 100 million RF, and it should have instantly transferred it over to our Draconic energy core here. So as you can see, we have 37 million, which is a lot less than that was holding, but that's always interesting. So yeah, we will slowly gain energy. Right now, we're only making a measly 100,000 RF a tick, and I say measly because later on in the pack, we're going to need some pretty insane amounts of RF, but we have other ways of getting there, and we'll do that a little bit later on in the pack. So I'm just going to clean this guy up real quick, make it look a little bit more presentable, and then we will carry on with making our armor. And I think we're going to call that good for now as far as decorating the reactor here. Like I said, I just put some black anti-block for the inside. It's not quite the effect I was looking for, but it's, you know, it's good enough. And then I put this red glass, you know, shout out to my wife for telling me which glass was red, since, you know, my colorblind self can't tell. But yeah, I put the red glass to kind of, you know, go with the Draconic feel here. So black and red, and, you know, we still need to do something so that we don't fall in here, you know, maybe put some railings or something like that, but I still will need to be able to access it. So maybe I'll just glass off like from here or something like that with some dark glass. Not really sure, but from sitting up on top, you know, it doesn't look too horrible, at least in my opinion. So we'll go for that. And then obviously once we get rid of these stone floors here, like I did a little bit of decorating over here, it should look a little bit better. I'm still not sure if I'm super pleased with the walls. I thought that was going to be like more like a straight tile, and it ended up with those squiggly lines, but I ended up using some lights on top with some of the roofing pieces, just tossed into a painting machine. Then obviously I have painted glowstone in the floor. And then this, I was just messing around, you know, I was like, hey, let's kind of make it look like, you know, this is kind of like an industrial area. So we kind of put that over there to make it look like it's lifting up a large crate or something. I don't know. I got bored. And then I added the fans. I really wanted to add 2 more fans over there, but I've always had issues with the factory blocks, and I don't know if it's just me because I'm not smart enough to figure things out, but the orientation that those fans go into when you place them is just the orientation they're going to be. So, you know, like this corner piece right here is always going to be a corner piece right there. It's never going to be anything else as far as I can figure out. I've tried hammers, I've tried wrenches, I've tried Googling it, and it looks like you need another mod attached to allow you to rotate blocks and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to leave it there. But, you know, I thought the industrial fans, a little bit of a game freeze there, but I thought the industrial fans actually kind of added a little bit of something to it. And then the lights, you know, obviously they don't hit the floor, but they're just kind of there to provide a little bit of light to the ceiling. So it kind of brings out the light color of the ceiling. Cause I kind of found that if you're going to have, you know, somewhat darker colors on the floor, having a lighter ceiling kind of opens the area up a little bit. But yeah, not usually very good with interior design. So yeah, I think that's, you know, I'm happy for that for me. This torch over there, I'm eventually going to get rid of it, but for now it is stopping a spawn point on top of that roost over there. So, you know, we'll leave it go. So next thing we want to do, because eventually we want to be able to fight the end dragon, is we want to get into the Draconic armor. Now, I think we should have everything that we need in order to make this stuff. Let me just put this glass back. By the way, that's the stuff that I was using. It's just X-Tones. It's really cool glass. It doesn't have any connection lines, so it's pretty seamless. It's kind of like, acts like clear glass, but you can you know, just by shift and mouse wheeling, you can change it to whatever color you want. You just make the first one, and you can just translate that. So it's just, you know, the X-tone tiles with glass. So it's really nice. It is hard to break though, even with the party pickaxe. So misplacing is not awesome. So let's look at this armor set here. We're gonna need the Wyvern armor, and that's gonna be starting down here. So we're gonna need Wyvern cores and energy cores. So we might as well just make as many of those as we can, and then go back to Draconia. And let's see here. We're gonna need some more of these cores, and let's just make a bunch of these guys, just so that we can make a stack of everything. So let's make some of these Wyvern cores, toss you guys up. Let's go back and make some of you. All right, there we go. So now we should be able to just kind of burn through this armor real quick. We have the helm, Wyvern chest plate. There we go. Let's grab these guys. And let's also make the sword real quick, because I don't know if the Ender Dragon does too horribly well with bows, but we'll start there for now. We can upgrade these later. I'm not really too concerned about upgrading these until we kind of get ready to get into Draconic. Yeah. All right, let's come over here and let's make sure that let's see, where do we want to? All right, so no network, Revan, wireless charging. Let's say we want our slots, our left hand, our right hand, and armor slots, and we want to enable and apply. So now when we come over here and we toss our armor on, we should charge up fully. It's glitching out a little bit, so that'll work. So now we have our Wyvern armor. So when we go to battle the End Chicken, you know, hopefully we won't have any issues. We're still going to have to use I don't think this has flight, so we're still going to have to use the Resonant Jetpack until we get up to the Draconic armor. But, you know, not really sure. I don't know if I'm going to wear this around very much, just because of the fact that I've never been a huge fan of the Draconic armor, especially when you get into the red set, or the set higher than this. It's too busy for me. But eventually, you know, we'll get into the Infinity armor a little bit later on in the pack. So, you know, we won't be using this hopefully for very long. We got to throw this one last glass in here. All right, so let's go back to our quest book and see what we got here. We got the armor, we got the core, we got this, and we got that. We got another party pickaxe. Oh yeah, we also have the book and another party pickaxe. So next we have to get into the awaken cores and stuff like that, which is going to be the fusion crafting. And let's see, Porter advanced dislocator stores up to 100 locations. That's nice. How do we make that? Okay, so that's going to be fusion crafting. We can probably knock this guy out real quick. And what is this? Dragon heart. I think we have to beat the dragon to get this, pretty sure. And the flux capacitor. I think we can make one of the flux capacitors, at least the Wyvern tier ones. Yeah, we got that. We can toss all of you guys back in here. One of these days we're actually have to set up these ore miners. Probably have a bajillion builders by now, but yeah, one day we'll get something good. Although I don't really know if there's too much in here that's really good as far as rewards go. I know, like, early pack, you know, some of the rewards can be, you know, darn right game breaking, but as you get later on, they kind of become, you know, less and less important. So where was that thingamadoohickey that it wanted us to make? Okay, so this is going to be in the fusion tables, but I think we're going to save fusion for next time. All right, so Hold shift, control. All right, shift right click to change mode. Charge armor. Hold items, armor and hold items. Charge all. We'll just set that to charge all. The only problem is, we're gonna have to come over here and switch it to everything in our inventory as well. So this is a little bit redundant just because of the fact that we do have the wireless charging and that is chunk loaded. So us really needing that is, you know, to be completely honest, we don't. But yeah, that is what it is. Let's do the mob grinder as well. These things are pretty nifty. These are usually what I've used in the past for my wither farms, but I just feel like I don't know if they've slightly been nerfed or something like that, but it just feels like the wither, like no matter what you use now, the wither takes like 2 hits to be taken out. But so that's why I don't really care if I'm using this or if I'm using the Draconic one. So I think one of the last things that we're going to kind of get into in preparations for the End Dragon is making the chicken stick. I think we just need a stick. And do we have any eggs in here? We do. All right, so let's grab some eggs, our stick, and the chicken eggs, and I think all we have to do is throw down the eggs until we get a chicken to spawn, and then we hit him with a stick, which will then turn the chicken into an angry chicken, and then we just have to kill that, and I think we should get our... Ooh, okay, fall damage. We should get our chicken stick from that. So up in the quests over here, this weapon to surpass. So we do need to go to the end, but I think if we have this on us, it should count. So let's kind of throw these guys until we get a grown chicken here. All right, we didn't get any adult chickens from the eggs, so we're just going to feed this guy some seeds until his growth timer is expired. I think a stack of seeds should get him down. You see above, so usually you can just stop around 10 because after that it only goes down, like it really doesn't go down anymore because of the fact that you're only feeding them like 1 seed per second and it's only taking 1 second off. So kind of one of those not really worth it situations. All right, so he is now an angry chicken, and can we just kill him with a sword or do we have to kill him with a stick? All right, so we do need to kill him with a stick. So let's grab a couple more sticks here and grab some more seeds and try not to mess up this time. That would be swell. All right, take 2 here. We have our chicken. We have our stick. We are going to kill the chicken with the stick this time around. So we just have to smack him, turn him into an angry chicken, and then just give him a little bit of a beat down here as he just totally wrecks us in our Draconic armor. Wow, he is an angry chicken. How many health points does he have? I think the trick is just to get him down because the stick is only doing like not even half a heart of damage here. This is going to be harder than the boss fights with the Ender Dragon, I have a feeling. There we go. All right, we have our chicken stick. That was way more trouble than it should have been. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to get to the end, and you get to the end by reaching the top of the mining dimension. So we just need to go to the mining dimension, which is obviously the top of this world, and we have more infinity cows we got to take care of eventually. All right, we're in the mining dimension and we just need to dig up. So I'm just going to power through this and dig all the way to the top of the mining dimension, and that should take us to the end. And then we'll just make sure that we have everything that we need, because I'm thinking that I forgot something. Actually, I know I forgot something. Okay, so before we go back to the mining dimension, I do want to finally set some things up here. I'm going to just set up a couple dislocators. We have 3 right there. What we want to do is, in order for these, if we shift right click, you bind your current position. So if we just say, boom, we now have that. This is saved to the overworld. And that one's saved to the overworld. So when we go to the mining world, we can toss this one down and it'll take us back to the overworld. And when we get to the end, we'll just set this one for, we'll set up one in a pedestal there, and that will take us back to home as well. So let's just fly back up to the mining dimension and set one of these guys up in there. All right, we're up in the mining dimension. We just set down our pedestal. We take one of the dislocators that's unbound, shift right click, and then we can just toss that in there. Actually, no, we don't want to toss that in there. Let's take that out. This is, all right, so this is mining dimension, and this one is overworld. So we'll put the overworld in there. Then when we click on it, we will be transported back to our base, and then we can take our where is it, our mining world one, and we'll just set that there. So now we can go back and forth between the overworld and the mining dimension without actually having to fly up. So now we just got to do the same thing in the end. So we just have to fly up here until we actually get to the roof. So once I get to the roof, I will bring you guys right back. Okay, we should be approaching the top. I think it's like 256 or somewhere around there. All right, so we have bedrock. We can just toss down a torch right here. And I think we just dig this guy out like that. And then, yep, this should take us to the end. Fingers crossed. All right, we're in the end. Let's just put down this torch. Do a little bit of diggy diggy. Then we can just pop this guy down right here. And we just got to find our overworld dimension. There we go. This one should be unbound. So let's just shift right click to set it to this dimension and then head back down to the overworld. All right, I just want to clear out my inventory, and I think we have enough time to go up and actually fight the dragon. So we'll just toss all of, oh, I did not want to do that. Let's see, where are you? There we go. We need you. We can toss all of you guys back in. The only thing we're really going to need is obsidian and diamond blocks and our hammer. We can toss this guy in right there. We don't need, we'll keep the torches just for why nots. All right. Which one do we want to set you to? Let's set you right here. I think you can name these as well. Like put these in an anvil, and that way the name tag will show over where you go. Or you can do things like a lot of people do, put a piece of ore underneath there to kind of indicate that it's up in the mining dimension, and a piece of end rock and stone underneath this one. But now this chicken does a lot of damage, and I don't want him damaging this. So what we're going to have to do is dig ourselves a hole quite a distance away from this guy so that it's not actually going to be damaging where we're spawning in here. So let me get a decent sized place dug out, and we'll get to fighting the end chicken. I think this is a good a place as any. I think we should be far enough away that it won't reach our base, as long as we don't take too long to dispose of this guy. But from my understanding, all we need to do is put down a ring of obsidian and a diamond block in the center, and then drop an egg on it, and it should hatch us up an end chicken. So I'm going to kind of come over here and hide a little bit so that as it's spawning in, but as you can see, it's just destroying blocks left and right. So that's why I wasn't too concerned about making too big of a hole. And then we just need to run up to him and hit him with this chicken stick. The only thing that we didn't do, I want to grab some glass bottles before we actually fight this guy, because we're going to need some dragon's breath eventually. All right, so he should be fully in. We just fly up to him, use this hammer to break his shield, and then we should just be able to kind of come up and have our way. The sword isn't going to be the best since it's not powered up or anything like that, but it's going to, it's going to do what we need it to do, and that's going to be to dispose of him in a relatively quickly manner here. If I would have put things like sharpness or some of the upgrades on this guy, It would have been better. All right, can we... Are we getting... It's Ender Air. Did we get Dragon's Breath? From my understanding, the Dragon's Breath can be a little bit difficult to get here. So we just need him to shoot. I think when he shoots his laser... Yeah. And, yep, we got 2 things of Dragon's Breath, so that should be good for now. Makes some interesting noises, too, when you... Alright, that should be good. He is done. Get rid of this guy. Wow, this Draconic sword is pretty crap when it's base level. Alright. So from that, we get our dragon egg and we get some dragon scales. We got 2 dragon breath. It's got EMC. I think we only need 1 to make the table. So as long as we keep 1 of these, we should be good to go. But yeah, I can come back here and respawn this guy pretty much as many times as I want if I need, you know, more of the dragon scales or stuff like that. But I think I'm pretty happy with that. You know, we got our Draconic energy core. We got our nifty little armor set here. I don't want to look up. Don't look in their eyes. They didn't see me. I'm not here. And with a little bit of light, everything starts to look a little bit better. But we're going to have to call it an episode there, guys. As always, I appreciate you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed yet, please do. It helps me out greatly. Keeps me wanting to put out more and more content. But as always, hey, stay safe, be awesome, and we'll see you guys later.